Good morning. Today I'm going to talk about my recent project and obsession, fishes. Or rather the mind of a fish. How do they work? How do they move the way that they do? And why are they so slimy? The answer?
Boids!
Except for the slimy part. That's glycoprotein slime. I digress. Boids, short for bird-oid behavior, which is short for bird-like object, which I am going to use to make fish. Don't question the logic, it just works. Boids is an example of emergent behaviors. That is, the complexity of boids arises from the interaction of individual agents, the boids in this case following a set of simple rules to make a complex behavior in larger groups. These simple rules can be few or quite many, depending on what kind of behavior is wanted from the boards. Or in more common folk terms, dumb brain alone weak, many dumb brains together strong. There are three basic rules that is always needed. Separation, where the boid will avoid its local neighbors' positions so they do not collide. Alignment, which makes the boid steer in the average direction as its neighbors. And cohesion, which makes the boids move towards the average position of the neighbors. But because I am a very special boy with very special needs for my very special fish, I decided to add a couple more behaviors. As I wasn't sure which I exactly wanted or needed, I followed my teacher's examples of behaviors on the specific subject, which added to our list. Attractor, a behavior which keeps all of the boids within a specific area and coheres them to stay within the boundary. Checkpoints, which makes the boids, if provided with a checkpoint, get automatically drawn to that area in a matter of seconds, similar to a group of stressed students to the energy drink section of the closest grocery store. And sort of the last behavior, object avoidance, which makes the boids avoid objects. Yep. The reason I call it the sort of last one is that to make most of these behaviors, the boids need to know who the neighbors actually are, and therefore they need to see their area around them. I know, a genius conclusion from Dr. Fish over here, but bear with me. Most of the papers and tutorials for boids are made for the specifics of two-dimensional boids, but as aforementioned, I am a very special boy with very special fish, and therefore I wanted them to be three-dimensional. I wanted to see all of my creations in VR, because apparently I don't like to sleep between deadlines. So I had to go on a hunt to find a better solution for the vision and stumble upon Sebastian Log's videos on boids, which beautifully explains the simplicity of boids behavior. He also linked a paper written by Craig W. Reynolds, which went in depth on boids and their behavior, and it's the reason that I know that my solution is straight up bad. Highly recommend giving it a read. After finding a solution I found acceptable, I started making an actual game around it all. As I mentioned before, I wanted this to be seen in VR, so I started the painstaking process of making a VR game. With fishes. But first I needed a plan, so I booted up the headset, went into my sketch program, and started making a sketch on what I wanted in the game. The plan was originally that you would sit in a submarine, driving around a giant squid and using the fish as living shields to deflect any attack from the squid. But after some rethinking, I came up with the reversed idea, that I am instead this giant monster who submarines try to shoot down, and I need to use my friendly fish friends to protect myself from the torpedoes. So if we just take this idea and put it into VR, we get something that looks like this. The game is an endless wave runner, where as seen before, the subs will come towards me, stop at a good distance and shoot their horribly screaming torpedoes towards my face. I can capture these torpedoes and just throw them back towards them, or if you're bad at throwing like me, you can use this crossbow build to shoot them instead. If I feel overwhelmed, or just want my dear fish friends to come and say hi, I press one of these three buttons and one of the three groups will come. All in all, I would say that it's a pretty fun game to just hop into every now and then, even though the non-existent boundaries can sometimes be a problem. But that's pretty much it. I'm very happy with my result, and I hope that you liked the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.